this is Lori from STEM Excellence Tutoring. Today I want to talk about polar bonds. A polar bond is just a bond in which the electrons are unevenly distributed. The more polar a bond is, the stronger it's going to be. So bond polarity basically boils down to this idea of electronegativity. Electronegativity is the measure of how badly an atom wants more electrons. Fluorine is the most electronegative atom. In the periodic table, the closer an atom is to fluorine, the higher its electronegativity will be. So it increases going across from left to right, and it also increases going up from bottom to top. The only exception is hydrogen. Hydrogen is always an exception. It slips right in between boron and carbon. So, if we have a bond between two atoms that have different electronegativities, the atoms aren't going to want those electrons inside the bond to the same degree. The atom that has a higher electronegativity is going to pull harder on the electrons inside the bond. For example, if we have a bond between carbon and oxygen, on the periodic table, oxygen is closer to fluorine, so oxygen has a higher electronegativity. Therefore, oxygen is going to pull those electrons more strongly than carbon. And oxygen is going to end up with more of the electron density than carbon, thus making a polar bond. The greater the difference in electronegativity, the more polar the bond. For example, if we were comparing carbon and fluorine to carbon and oxygen, fluorine is higher in electronegativity, even more so than oxygen. So fluorine is going to pull even harder, thus creating even more of a difference in electronegativity and an even more polar bond.